Space Cats, the final cosmic battle. In the beginning, the galaxy was a vast mosaic of worlds interconnected by peace and collaboration. Diverse alien races not only shared technology and knowledge, but also celebrated their differences with unique traditions, music, and festivals. Traders journeyed between star systems, poets composed verses inspired by the vibrant hues of nebulas, and scientists exchanged groundbreaking discoveries at universal gatherings. This cultural exchange ensured that peace reigned and hope illuminated the future for all. Everything changed when the Kruul, a race of biomechanical conquerors, emerged from the forgotten depths of the stellar abyss. These hybrid beings, blending organic matter with living machinery, brought with them an unprecedented terror. Their bodies shimmered with pulsating circuits, and their voices echoed like twisted metal in the heat of battle. In mere moments, peaceful planets were wiped off the map, entire cities burned, civilizations subjugated, and cultures extinguished. The Kruul enslaved entire populations, extracting not only resources, but also ancient knowledge to enhance their own war machines. No race seemed strong enough to stop them until the Space Cats decided to intervene. The Space Cats were far more than ordinary felines. They were beings genetically enhanced to withstand the rigors of the cosmos. With fur interwoven with strands of nanotechnology, they could camouflage themselves in the darkness of space, transforming into silent shadows that confounded their enemies. Their eyes, capable of perceiving beyond the visible spectrum, allowed them to detect threats at unimaginable distances. Trained as brilliant strategists and exceptional pilots, the Space Cats watched the unfolding events in silence. For centuries, they hid in the depths of nebulas, honing their combat techniques and studying the weaknesses of their adversaries. The silence of the Space Cats was shattered by the devastation wrought by the Kruul. Witnessing peaceful civilizations reduced to rubble and millennia-old cultures disappearing in the blink of an eye, the felines realized that the time to act had finally arrived. On a moonlit night, beneath the shadow of a rare eclipse, the leaders of the Space Cats gathered in a secret council. Amid tense whispers and determined gazes, they resolved that they could no longer remain idle. The Valeria star system was on the brink of being subjugated by the Kruul when, unexpectedly, hundreds of small spacecraft emerged from the shimmering rings of a gaseous planet. These agile ships, piloted by felines with superhuman reflexes, launched a lightning attack, dancing amid debris and bursts of plasma, striking the enemy fleet before the Kruul could even react. The roar of explosions and flashes of energy lit up the cosmos, and for the first time, the invaders tasted fear. Unlike conventional battles, the Space Cats employed guerrilla tactics. Their ships, designed for speed and stealth, moved like silent predators, attacking with surgical precision before vanishing into the cosmic shadows to reappear at strategic points. While traditional forces relied on heavy armor and brute firepower, the felines bet on cunning and agility. This innovative approach quickly won over countless liberated planets, which united to form a diverse alliance against the Kruul invaders. Leaders from different races learned from the Space Cats. Scientists developed new plasma weapons inspired by feline nanotechnology, and military tacticians studied their evasive maneuvers, while the rebuilt streets of once devastated cities pulsed with the hope of a future free from tyranny. As the war intensified, the Kruul adapted their tactics with each new defeat, constructing colossal ships with reinforced armor, deploying biomechanical drones that learned from every encounter, and modifying their intelligence systems to become ever more unpredictable. Battles raged across thousands of star systems, transforming space into a vast graveyard of wreckage. Once thriving stellar fields became silent memorials to ferocious combat and a conflict that spared no one. The cost to the Space Cats was immense. Many of their warriors were captured and subjected to cruel experiments as the Kruul sought to unravel the secrets of their nanotechnology. The pain and loss left deep scars, but only fueled the felines' resolve. They planned a full-scale offensive, stealthily infiltrating enemy bases to dismantle war factories and sabotage the systems that powered the invaders' reign of terror. Desperate and with few options left, the Kruul resorted to their ultimate weapon, a superweapon capable of swallowing entire stars, a machine designed to annihilate all life in one devastating blow. The plan was both simple and terrifying. Destroy every system that dared oppose them, leaving the galaxy in irreparable ruins. With the fate of the universe hanging in the balance, the Space Cats marshaled all their forces for one final assault. In an operation of the highest risk, their camouflaged ships infiltrated the Kruul's main base, a labyrinth of pulsating metal corridors and chambers filled with living technology, where every shadow concealed a deadly foe. At the heart of the enemy space station, the feline leaders confronted the Kruul generals in an epic hand-to-hand battle. Claws clashed with biotic blades, and every strike, every dodge, carried the weight of countless lives depending on that decisive moment. The fight raged on until, through sheer determination, the Space Cats succeeded in deactivating the superweapon and sealing the invaders' fate. When the battle finally subsided, the Kruul had been vanquished, and peace, albeit fragile and scarred, returned to the galaxy. Even in victory, the sorrow of loss ran deep. Countless lives had been sacrificed, and the surviving Space Cats bore both physical and emotional scars that served as a daily reminder of the price of freedom. Aware that their numbers were now too few to maintain order as before, the felines made the painful decision to vanish once more. Aboard their ships, they journeyed to the farthest reaches of the universe, concealing themselves in the shadows of nebulas, ever vigilant and ready to re-emerge should the threat ever rise again. On planets rising from the ashes, the tales of the Space Cats transformed into legend. Epic songs exalted the bravery of the felines, while poets celebrated the beauty of a sacrifice that saved innumerable lives. Even in exile, the universe would never forget that in its darkest hours, hope can emerge from the most unexpected places. Some say that on nights of eclipse, one can glimpse feline silhouettes crossing the sky, silently guarding the cosmos, and that the peculiar sparkle of certain stars is nothing less than the watchful eyes of the Space Cats, always ready to fight again if the galaxy needs them. Did you enjoy the adventure? Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more epic stories.